What's going on, Bulls fans? You already know we got to talk about the Bulls' loss last night against the Toronto Raptors. Also, the Bulls' upcoming game tonight against the Indiana Pacers. We'll break that down and some more right after this. All right, Bulls fans, so I'm not going to be before you long today, and especially because, we had the after game show last night. It was fun. You guys really have to, if you're not showing up to the post-game live streams, you really do need to be there. It's a fun time sometimes, especially even when Bulls lose. We get off on separate tangents and everything like that, but nonetheless, Bulls last night against the Toronto Raptors. What can I say and how can I categorize this game? The Bulls did not play well enough to win that game. The fact that the Bulls were even able to be in position to possibly win the game at the end of that fourth quarter when they went up by 2, had they got a defensive stop, they would have won that game. It's surprising enough in of itself. The fact that the Bulls lost in overtime did not surprise me at all, just according to the way that they played last night in last night's game. 17 turnovers and a lack of offensive rebounding and allowing second chance points. That is always going to be a recipe for a loss against a team like the Toronto Raptors, against really any team in the NBA, especially if you turn the ball over in that manner. And that's what the Bulls did last night. It's unfortunate. Yes, it sucks, but it happens. The Bulls again did not face the zone defense very well, handled the zone defense very well. These are things that we've been talking about that the Bulls need to find a way to get a grasp on, and this coaching staff needs to better prepare this team to do. Zach LaVine, only 15 points in the game, 10 points in that fourth quarter. He only had 4 points in quarters 1 through 3. That definitely affected things as well. And Zach almost didn't play in last night's game. He was moved to from probable to questionable, and then he was eventually available for the game. But all those things aside, the Bulls just did not play the correct brand of offense or defense really to be able to win that game. And that's just what it boils down to. It's an unfortunate loss, but it is one that the Raptors won that game. And their players showed up in the fourth quarter, a big shot at the end of regulation from rookie Scotty Barnes, all that. They deserved to win that game. And that's what it boils down to. Yeah, you're going to get people, especially with Coby White's mistakes, that are going to blame the loss on Coby, and it really wasn't that at all. Yes, he contributed to the loss, absolutely, in that with his mistakes. Rookies make mistakes, and this is the thing that I've been saying is sometimes we get caught up in how good Ayo Dosunmu has been doing because he's been making rookie mistakes, and it came in this game. Would this game be different if we had Alex Caruso, if we had Lonzo Ball? Absolutely. But you can't make those excuses. We got to start making those excuses every time. This Bulls team has more than enough to compete with the teams that they've been facing. And they just, they've won, right? They've been winning. But in a game like this, you can't really just blame it on who was out, because at the end of the day, the Bulls should have been able to win that game and should have played. Had they played better, they would have definitely won that game. And that's what it really just boils down to. On a night where Zach LaVine was officially announced as an All-Star reserve, we already expected that. Like I said, if Zach wasn't named, we would have rioted. But with that being said, you wanted to see a bigger team, a bigger show out from this team, and we didn't get it. It's unfortunate. Got to dust it off, move on to the next game. And the next game against the Indiana Pacers, the Bulls have Coby White, which is unexpectedly to be questionable, and Zach LaVine. Now, I did say in the post-game show yesterday, I fully expect Zach LaVine not to play tonight. That's just where I stand personally. I don't expect him to play tonight, especially since they almost didn't play him yesterday. And the fact of what we have coming up after this game, the fact that we have Philly and Phoenix on back-to-backs, this would be the game to rest Zach LaVine at. Now, Coby White, with his abductor injury, like I said, that's a little bit surprising. Haven't really heard anything about Coby playing with any kind of toughness or anything like that. So, but at the end of the day, if the Bulls even do lose tonight against the Pacers, it is what it is. They need to prepare for a test that they have coming up on national TV, and hopefully we'll get better showings from them on national TV against the Sixers and against Phoenix, period. That's just what it boils down to. But like I said, without all of that, you want to see players get rest. You want to see them do that. I was really hoping that the Bulls were going to be able to play. The Toronto was really tough to where they were going to be able to rest Zach LaVine in that fourth quarter last night. Didn't happen. We ended up needing those 10 points from him very well just to get into overtime. But at the end of the day, you're going to see a lot of players possibly get some rest between now and the All-Star break, just period. And they're going to be gearing up to really go at it very hard after the All-Star break. When does Lonzo come back? When does Caruso comes back? What moves do they make? Patrick Williams coming in. Does he come back? All those questions remain to be answered, and we'll see what this team does with those situations. One thing that I do want to talk about as well before we leave, Benny Donovan's chances to be the coach at the All-Star game. The Bulls, if they win the next 2 games, he would be locked in to coach the All-Star game. So, it's not of a big thing for me. I mean, it's good to have them, and I know a lot of people really caught up on Bulls having the number 1 seed, and that matters to them a lot right now in this current time in the season. But I do want to acknowledge, if Billy Donovan does end up being the coach at the All-Star game, hats off to him. If not, we know why. So, and that's what it boils down to. One thing that I also do want to point out is that Bulls, 76% of their defensive they rebound at a defensive rate of 76% with Vooch out there. And this is for some of the Vooch haters. The Bulls dropped to damn near league low at 70% of defensive rebounds when Vooch is not out there. We know what the offensive rebound is still a thing that we need. We know that we need, and hopefully we're going to pick up somebody at the trade deadline or buyout market that's going to help with that. But again, this just goes to show Vooch had an amazing game last night, and it sucks that we wasted a great Vooch game and a loss, but it kind of is what it is. Next thing I want to talk about is trade rumors. One of the things with this channel, you guys know, I don't do very heavy trade rumors, especially like the ones early in the season where they're all just a bunch of speculation, and I don't want to be like some of the channels that literally do the clickbait titles with the thumbnails about trade candidates. I know I talked about the Denny Schroeder one because that was how that was reported, and I wanted to talk about that one. And anytime that it's reported from a reputable source, I will probably touch on it and talk about it. Things that this season, especially when Patrick Williams went down, they got so out of control with trade rumors, I just decided I wasn't going to talk about them at all. Coming down the stretch here, and I want to explain why I don't really talk about trade rumors and why, especially right now. Most trade rumors right now are BS. A lot of writers, especially for websites, they know that every team, especially if you're a contending team, if you're a team that you feel like you're a step away, hell, if you're a team that has a player that you're just over, every fan of a team right now is watching. They're clicking everything they see, anything to do with trades. I already talked about how I feel like the Denny Schroeder trade is bullshit. But I just feel like, especially right now, most trade rumors are BS. Unless it comes from one of the beat reporters covering your team, usually there's not much there. There are some off times where it is, but usually if there's some fire where there's smoke at, usually some of the beat writers will report on it. And considering Cowley even said, this front office plays things so close to the chest, it's tough to know what they're going to do. Anything that comes out with Bulls are quote unquote interested in this, they're going to do. I just personally don't believe it. That's why I feel like most trade rumors right now are bullshit. But we'll see. I'm going to continue to monitor it. We know we're gearing up 6 days from now on the trade deadline day. I will be having a live trade deadline special. It'll start an hour before the trade deadline. It'll end an hour after the trade deadline. And we'll be breaking down everything with the trades that day. We'll be talking about it. Everything from every team, how it affects the Bulls standings, what other teams around the Bulls in the Eastern Conference do. We'll cover all of that then. So yeah, I just wanted to get that. I've been getting a lot more questions on why I don't do, especially like during the live streams, why I don't answer a lot of questions when it comes to trade rumors. That's just the reason. I feel like a lot of them are just bullshit in my opinion, but we'll see. Especially because of the front office that we have and how tight-lipped they are, I really just tend not to believe much of it and don't think that there's much to most of it, but we'll see. We're very shortly going to see what is going to happen and what moves this Bulls team is or is not going to make, and I can't wait to see what this front office does. In Kane Eversley, I trust very well, and I hope this fan base continues to do as well. But that's it. I know there's also some things about Coby and XYZ. We'll get into all that. As some housekeeping notes, as many of you know who've been in the live stream, I will not have a halftime hangout or a post-game live at all today. I apologize for that. Just due to real life. The next time you guys will see me won't be until I'm on Windy City Breeze on Sunday. That'll be the next time you guys see me. Then I'll do a halftime hangout and a post game over here on this channel. So other than that, enjoy you guys this weekend. Be safe, especially if you're in the Midwest and dealing with these snowstorms as we are here. Let me know what you guys think about everything that was said down below, your thoughts, your feelings, everything. Make sure you're following the podcast at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text or voicemail, you can do so at 773-270-2799. Like I like to end everything on. Go Bulls. Love you guys. Peace.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.